Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. Today we are looking at Robocop, Citizen's Arrest, Issue 1 from Boom Studios. This is written by Brian Wood, illustrated by Jorge Solejo, colored by Doug Garbark, lettered by Ed Dirkshire. So this book takes up several years after the first Robocop. It opens up with a woman giving birth, her husband, who's a police officer, trying to say that he's on the Metro PD's insurance, and the lady at the desk is like, no, you don't have insurance as of today. You can thank that guy on TV. Well, this guy is the new owner of OCP, and of course he has to pay monthly installments with 22% interest rates, because he has no insurance. So we get some news bulletins, these people, talking heads, sitting on a couch, blathering on. The police officer sits down next to his wife, and the doctor's like, not a hotel, so they have to get going. Well, the officer, who is now a former officer because everybody just lost their jobs, leaves his sleeping wife and baby and goes out for a walk. He goes down to the local watering hole, and who should be sitting down at the other end of the bar but Alex Murphy, the Robocop. Turns out he lives in the area somewhere, in an area called the Shore. Now, Detroit's still a dump because times change, Detroit doesn't. And OCP has been reformed. They discuss how Robocop went semi-rogue, and they imply sort of a vigilantism. Well, 5 years pass, and things are not getting much better for the average person. Corporations are still running everything, including the law enforcement personnel, which are now actual androids, who are controlled by OCP's new Robocop app, r/cop, and you make a deposit that is automatically withdrawn from your phone, and once it's withdrawn, your report goes in, and if it is a real crime, you get 5 times the amount back. And they play up like these fake interviews throughout that are like pseudo ads where they're talking to people on the street, and they're saying, yeah, at first it was weird, but it's kind of fun. Now it's a game. Now law enforcement is a game. They even show this poor woman getting flogged, and the new head of OCP is this really creepy looking guy with a beard that looks vaguely like a dude I used to know, only a little more like drives a white van kind of thing. So down on the shore, this man Leo is talking with his son James and sends him over to the neighbors, and he follows Robocop into his house and confronts him. Meanwhile, the new owner of OCP is paying off the mayor to go down and try and settle things with an area called the Ruins. Now, the Ruins is obviously the bad side of the tracks, and he is supposed to talk with the people there and kind of alleviate their concerns without the CEO getting his hands dirty, so it's all on the mayor. Plausible deniability and all that. Well, during this time, we understand that Robocop was shut down for a total of 60 seconds, which allowed some OCP men to come in and install a program in his head called retirement, and he can't even pick up his gun. This program is corrupting his system, and they've effectively made him useless. So he just kind of mopes around all the time, wearing this giant coat and pants, which I don't really think he needs, but okay. So he just kind of exists, and it's sort of a living hell for him. Well, Leo takes this information and heads out to see what he can do, because it turns out his wife works for the company that may have written the program, and he wants her to steal it. Meanwhile, a robot tells a little girl with a dog to stop pooping, and the meeting that the mayor's at goes rather awry when the citizens are saying, look, we don't want gentrification. We know what that means. All these nice things will be there, but we don't get to use them. We won't be here. And he's going to report the mayor on the app with this phone that he was given by OCP. Well, when he tries to do that, it zaps him and disintegrates him and sends everyone running, including the mayor. The mayor knows it was a setup, but the CEO explains to him that it will, in fact, start a riot down there, and it'll give them a reason to send the troops in and take everyone out and clear the area. And the only chance they have really for the underclass is for Robocop to be deprogrammed by this former police officer and his wife. Now, there are obviously a lot of left-leaning talking points in here, but a lot of those were in the original Robocop movie as well. The threat of private militarization of the police, privatization of the criminal justice system in general, and everything else that comes with heavy corporations, large tyrannical corporations not caring about the people, but caring about their bottom line. So it actually works really well in that respect. It really does fit the spirit of the first Robocop movie. I don't know, there were a few things I didn't particularly care for about it, but I have to admit it was really well done. And it's not that heavy-handed. The gentrification thing was obviously pretty heavy-handed, but that was probably about it. But there are a lot of things in here that are legitimate concerns. The fears of being displaced, fears of corporations taking over, the corruption, that sort of thing, influence of the news media. That's all pretty well handled in here. It had a very, very mature mentality to it, I think. I think that even though a lot of the issues that were being addressed were definitely a little more left-leaning and anti-corporation, it was handled very maturely and very well done. So I think if you like Robocop, the movie, you'll probably like this book. And honestly, I'm going to pick up the next issue and see what it has to offer. And hopefully it won't go full SJW on us and it'll still maintain some semblance of rationality. I know Mr. Wood's work tends to be way more left-leaning, but this actually is where it worked pretty well. So hopefully it won't go too far off the deep end and they'll be able to rein it in and tell a good story that everyone can enjoy. The art, as far as that goes, was okay. Wasn't blown away by it. It's not my style, but it's pretty well done for what it is trying to be. And it didn't have too much of that heavy-handed manga crap that I hate so much. So I was okay with the art. It's not the best, it's not the worst. Kind of middle of the road. I think there's a lot of room there where the artist could really come out with a very strong style. So that's my take on the book. As always, thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel, and we hope to see you on the next episode.